People lie.
So do you guys believe? So you guys believe that not all of you guys, but the people that are against what some people are saying, like you believe that like if he doesn't have his shit together, there is no even trying to entertain it or no come up together. You have to be in that predicament already for me to mess with you.
Well, I think it all
So
depends on. I think it all depends on age. I mean, if they young in their early 20s, I think that they should be. They're either going to be up or they're going to be on their way up.
Mm.
But once you start going into them late 20s and 30s, you can kind of get a good idea of where that person is going. If they don't have any direction by the age of 30, then you can almost say this person may be on.
I think you're putting too much pressure on people when you try to put this on a couple that's in their early 20s. I think it's unfair for them. They're in a relationship, they're in their early 20s. You take the risk. Go get in a relationship, go get married, do what you do. Try to make it work. But if you're a 23-year-old woman and this guy is 40, then that's totally different. But if you're if you're in your early 20s, go ahead, Will.
No, there's no problem what you're saying, but the problem is the message was I quit my job at a firm for a guy when I met him that didn't have his financial life together.
That's true.
That's the message that was communicated.
That's what
we heard.
That was true.
It was true.
He did. That's true.
Okay, gentlemen, listen to what I'm saying. If Barack is at Yale, Harvard, Princeton, and you're got a guy like that, that's totally different than just and he's already well connected. Those guys' trajectories are usually already set. They already have jobs lined up. He was already working as an associate, a junior associate or whatever at the firm. It's not like he was a bum, but your community, the way she's saying it, like when people hear he's not financially sound, nobody is thinking about a Harvard grad, a Yale grad, a Princeton grad, a Brown grad.
People are fucking Harvard grads.
Right. So what I'm telling you is how she's communicating it sounds as if women can just take leaps of faith with any Tom, Dick, and Harry that got potential. Quit your job, bet all on black. 23 black.
I seriously doubt any woman took that at that face value like that.
Yeah, because everybody knew who she was talking about. Everybody's familiar with their history.
I doubt any woman.
Aria, did you have any thoughts on it?
Yeah, so my experience of it is different from. I'm trying to take in what all of you are saying because, like, I never expected to be single and dating at this point, and so like, I've been trying to hear you and like piece together a game plan for myself, I guess, but my experience of it was very different. I met my ex-husband when I was 19, and he was 28, and he was working fixing laptops at Best Buy on the Geek Squad, and I was a bar manager, so I was making more than him. He had kids, I did not, but I think there is something to be said with the support of a good woman does project a person a bit more. Like a woman in your corner who believes in you and roots for you and gives you like, you know, the cheerleading and the support, right, does help a lot. And I know from my own personal experience, like my ex-husband was almost 30 when we met. I was a teenager, right? People might have their opinions about that, whatever. But, you know, I did really believe. I was 19 and he was 28, almost 29 when we met. But anyway, when we were together, like he went from, I was pushing him. I was a cheerleader for him. I really believed in him. And he went from being on the Geek Squad to a database engineer to getting his degree to a software company to getting another degree to another software company, getting another degree. By the time we divorced, he's a senior systems architect making, you know, over $300,000 a year. And that was over the course of our 10-year relationship, because I do think that when you have a solid partnership and you have somebody that really believes in you and really believes in where you're going, that can be really beneficial to both a man and a woman. Mm-hmm.
So why did it fail?
I don't want to say, but I can put it in the chat.
And, I gotta take off. It was good chatting with y'all.
Almost 300K. God,
nice to meet you, Callie. All right, gentlemen. Bye, Miss Bond. Bye, Miss Aria. Y'all have yourselves a good night. Sweeney, I'm hitting you on the back end tomorrow.
Michelle Obama must have sent an email.
Pause.
Please don't say no shit like that. What the fuck, bro?
God damn. Sweetie, man. What's up with you tonight, bro?
I think it's hard because it's like I get both sides though. Like I get like, hey, be careful. Like not everybody has good intentions, and everything in life is an investment, and everything in life is a risk. And knowing how to mitigate that risk, sometimes it's both sides of the coin, right? It's like, okay, you could go ahead and believe in this person and go full throttle, and they could make it and everything could be amazing. Or you could go ahead and just not have to deal with that, or go through it and it just tank and you guys lose everything and now you're out on the street, or things happen. But I don't know. I think I'm just confused as to like what you guys think on when would be the right time, or how would you know? Like for me, Barack Obama situation made perfect sense to me. Like this man is smart as hell. He knows what he's talking about. He has the resources. And Michelle Obama, she doesn't strike me as a woman that is easily manipulated, right? So, what do you guys think about what I just said?
So hold on. Before anybody answers, we make sure Ari finished first, and then we'll come back and answer that question. Because I know when the exit happened, it got thrown off from her.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a whole lot more to say. I just think that like it's hard for me to see why I would need, you know what I mean? Like over the course of my relationship too, I also got a master's degree. I started 2 companies. I put one of my companies into an MCO, so I don't even really have to do anything for it anymore. So like I don't need money from a person. And I guess because of my personal experience, my MO is that I want you to have the personality and the drive and the motivation and the dream and the vision, right? So I'm not really sure like how to, as you guys were saying, vet a person. And I've had really bad luck with it too. So I don't know.
So Aria, I'm going to say this based off of what you put in the back chat. I ain't going to say it out loud. Outside of what happened after the fact, you did nothing wrong with how you, as far as you choosing a guy that was working at Best Buy, he was doing his thing, and you was working as a goddamn fucking bartender. I get what Will is saying, right? But when you're talking about, we're talking about the average regular American. On average, you should be able to run into somebody that's going to pretty much be your equal out there in society. It's not that hard. A bartender going to run into a guy that works fucking at Best Buy. A chick that work at Amazon is going to run into a dude that work at FedEx. Like somebody like Michelle Obama is obviously in close proximity to men who are going to become fucking politicians. Like it wasn't that hard for her to be able to move that way because she was already in that realm. So if you happen to find somebody that, okay, you're a college student, he's a college student. That's how you find your equal.
So like as a woman who's now 33, who's a professional, and I'm not going to date somebody that I've hired, and everybody that I work with, I hired. I'm
why not? What's that song about? Keep it on the hush.
Well, my clinical staff, I can't.
You know
my clinical staff, it's an ethics code. I can't, and my operations, I'm like, no, it's okay. But like,
secret God.
But like to me, it's like, okay, yeah, I do go to some work events. I don't really want to mix personal and professional if I can help it. And so like, I did any race. So like,
hold on, you done went black already?
I've dated a few, yeah.
It ain't no going back. I heard the white boys don't want you no more after that.
I mean, to me, it's just I've been having trouble figuring out like who's an actual serious person, who's a serious candidate, right? And I don't know how to vet, as you guys were saying. I guess that's the step by step I would like.
Your father in your life?
I was actually raised by a single dad.
Why you don't have him act?
He's got a lot of health issues.
She
and
she
stuff.
got a dog bark sound effect. God damn, Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels done woke up in this damn live stream.